All right, Erin Blanchfield, you're fighting on Invicta FC 30, July 21st. This is your second
Yep.
MMA fight. And you're fighting someone who's making their MMA debut altogether. How does it feel to get to where you wanted to be so fast? I watch your EBI stuff, so I kind of it seems like you're ahead of your original plan.
Yes, well, EBI was like a great boost for me. Like I went into that not really knowing what to expect. Like no one expected me to win or anything. But after getting that win, it really boosted like my career in jiu-jitsu and in MMA. So I had my first amateur fight that November, and I won that in the first round by armbar. And then we were trying to find other amateur fights, but we were just having people drop out like left and right. So we got offered a pro fight. We took it, and I won in the first round for that as well. And then Invicta was very interested after seeing me win EBI and then my first pro MMA fight. So now we're here. I'm ready.
That's cool. I mean, congratulations on the fast track into pro MMA. Obviously, I know you said you had some kickboxing experience. So that first fight was a knockout. You said, right?
My first amateur.
No, the pro one, the CFFC one.
Oh, the pro fight. Yeah, it was. It got stopped between the rounds. It was like a TKO because I was elbowing her a lot, and she had a bad cut in her eye, so the doctor stopped it between rounds.
But so the Invicta press release called you a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu ace. Would you say you're more of a grappler, striker, or you just consider yourself well-rounded already?
I definitely consider myself well-rounded. Like jiu-jitsu is definitely like my strongest suit, but my striking is very good. I've been doing grappling and striking since I was 7, so I feel very confident in both.
Wow, and if you don't mind me asking, I know when you won the EBI thing, they asked you how old you are. I mean, you're 20 years old, right?
No, I'm 19.
Oh wow, so that's like I mean, you're kind of like I mean, the Diaz brothers, they started fighting when they were 19. So I mean, it's like you're well before your prime. So you have a long way to go at flyweight.
Yeah, that's why Invicta's great because they have people like pro debuts, like the girl that I'll be fighting next Saturday, to people who can be UFC champions. So you can get a lot of experience there, and they're a great organization with great exposure.
Yeah, I was going to say the exposure is phenomenal. Even people, I mean, I've watched it with people that don't watch it regularly, but when I bring up Invicta, they always say I've never seen a bad card from them. I mean, from first fight to the last fight, it's usually pretty exciting. So that's great that you're making your debut there. And it's obviously I know obviously a lot of people want to get into the UFC, and it's no secret that Invicta fast tracks successful fighters into the UFC from Invicta. So is that your game plan for this?
Yes, I mean I definitely want to get some more experience with Invicta. But I know that, a lot of UFC takes a lot of their females from Invicta because they know that they're a high-level organization that produces good fighters. So that's definitely the goal. I definitely want to get into UFC one day and be the champ there.
Yeah, and the division is relatively new for them for your weight class. So I mean, I would think they would be watching your weight class more closely. Is that something?
Yeah, it's a really exciting time for like flyweights because they just opened up the division like a year ago in UFC, so everybody's hungry for it.
So your opponent, Brittany Cloudy, it's her pro debut. Do you know anything about her? Has there any tape or anything you've been able to watch?
Yeah, we looked her name up on YouTube and we found quite a few of her amateur fights. She's like a long, tall girl, so we're assuming she's probably going to want to strike and keep me away. She's not going to want to grapple with me, but we've been working to fight people who are tall, good strikers, so I feel ready. Yeah,
I mean, are there any jitters? I mean, I'm sure she's got some as far as like because of the platform and where you're fighting.
No, I'm pretty calm. I mean, I'm always ready to compete. Like the bright lights don't bother me.
Cool. So, do you I know you said you consider yourself pretty well-rounded, but do you have a preference of where you'd like to take the fights? I mean, as you've been doing both striking and the grappling since you were 7, but do you feel stronger with grappling? I'm only asking because of your EBI experience. It seems like you kind of lean towards that more. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I have more of a body type for like a grappler, so I probably will be looking for takedowns in the majority of my fights against people because I feel like I'll always have like the edge in the grappling. But we'll see where the fight takes us. You don't know until you get in there, so.
Yeah, I'm always jealous of you athletes that start training so young. I mean, as an old man myself, I kind of feel like when you start as young as you did, and obviously, so you kind of you're already better than most older folks that start at a later age. Obviously, do you? Is this something that was ingrained in your mind that you wanted to do since you were 7?
When I first started, it was just more for self-defense. It wasn't like I didn't want to make a career out of it. But once I was training for a few years and started competing at like local Nagas and grapplers quests, and I saw how I was doing very well against people like older than me and stuff. So by the time I was like 12 or 13, I wanted to fight. Like I felt pretty confident that I could make a good career out of it. Yeah,
I mean. The EBI was definitely a good way to start. I know you won that tournament. That was I think that was EBI 12, right?
Yes, EBI 12.
So any plans to do any competitive grappling on the side, or are you strictly MMA now?
Well, right now I've been focusing on MMA. Like if EBI does the 125 again, like my division, I'm the current champion now. I would try to go back and defend it. But right now I'm really just focusing on MMA. They haven't told me when they're going to do the next flyweight, so I'm not sure about that, but right now it's definitely MMA.
So, excuse me, if you, I just found out too, I didn't know you were on the East Coast, so are you in New York or New Jersey?
Well, I live in New Jersey, but I train in New York and New Jersey.
Oh, so are you like one of Henzo's students, or what?
Yeah, I train at Silver Fox BJJ, which is a Henzo affiliate, so I also go in Henzo Gracie NYC a few times a week.
So are you into the leg lock game and all that stuff? Like everybody seems to be in the new virus going around the grappling circuit.
Yeah, since I've been training there, I've definitely gotten better at it. But I still definitely like my top pressure game. Like that's where I feel very comfortable at. But my leg locks are getting better too.
Do you think that type of grappling is something that's better suited for MMA, the top pressure game versus people that like to go for leg locks and the 50-50?
Yeah, I believe the more wrestling type of top game jiu-jitsu is definitely better for MMA because there's strikes involved. Like leg locks could work, but you're definitely taking a bigger risk of getting hit and taking some punishment for going for those. But yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
Cool. So I always tend to root for being from the Northeast myself. I always tend to get into all the New York, New Jersey-based fighters. So it's nice to hear somebody making their way through the pro circuit the way you are. I'm glad you made the time to talk today. One last question for me: Do you do fight predictions when you're gonna? I mean, obviously this is your second fight. Do you have a preferred way to finish your upcoming opponent for Invicta FC?
Well, I preferably want to finish. This one I could see a submission happening, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm definitely ready to fight and get the finish.
All right, cool. So that's July 21st, Invicta FC 30. Hopefully you get that 2-0, and then I feel like they start taking ladies into the UFC when you get like 3 or 4 fights in. So, and you're young and you have a bright future ahead of you. So I really appreciate you taking the time to talk.
No, thank you.
Thank you.